the management committee meeting for March 26th. And we have, before we do approval of the agenda, we have a new opportunity that the council's been studying and working with the American Indian Center. Is that correct? Did I say that correct?
Minneapolis American Indian Center?
Yes, yes. We have before us a Dakota Land, Water, and People Acknowledgement statement that I would like to read. And every committee, it will, read their statement or acknowledge the statement in some way. But I thought for our first meeting, for sure, we will read this as practice. And then at some point, I'll come back to all of you to talk about how often we want to do it. We can do it at every meeting, that's fine. Or if we want to do it quarterly or however, I guess it's up to us. But I'll at least start today's meeting with this Dakota Land, Water, and People Acknowledgement. The Metropolitan Council acknowledges that the land we currently call Minnesota, and specifically the 7-county region, is the ancestral homeland of the Dakota, is it Oyate, thank you, who are present and active contributors to our thriving region. As part of the Metropolitan Council's commitment to address the unresolved legacy of genocide, dispossession, and settler colonialism, and the fact that governmental institutions, including the Metropolitan Council, benefited economically, politically, and institutionally after the forcible removal of the Dakota Oyate, the Metropolitan Council is dedicated to instilling land, water, and people commitments in regional policy. These commitments, support the Dakota Oyate, the 11 federally recognized tribes in Minnesota, Ho-Chunk Nation, and the American Indian communities representing over 150 diverse tribal nations that call the 7-county region home. So I'm sorry for stumbling over a little bit of that, I'll get better at it, but I'm just really honored to be able to bring this forward as chair of the management committee. I'm really thrilled to be part of a Metropolitan Council who's instilled this practice in our work here at the Metropolitan Council, and that we're putting this forward throughout the council and certainly within our Imagine 2050 planning. So if anyone has any other comments at this point, I'd welcome them.
Thanks.
All right then. With that, then we will move on to the rest of our agenda. And everybody's gotten it in advance. Are there any changes to the agenda? Anybody want to add, change anything? Okay, so no changes. So without objection, that agenda is approved. We also have before us the approval of the March 12th draft management committee meeting minutes. Everybody's had a chance to review those in advance. Are there any changes, edits, questions to that?
Move approval.
Moved by Lilligren, is there a second? Second by Osmond. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. That passes unanimously. We have 2 non-consent business items from our reports of standing committees, and the first one is 2025-84. We've got our Minnesota Public Facilities Authority PFA loan agreement and general obligation wastewater revenue note. And we've got with us Mark Thompson, our Director of Treasury, to talk about resolution 2025-8. So thank you, Mark, for being here. Welcome.
Thank you, Madam Chair, committee members. I'm Mark Thompson, the Treasury Director for the Council, and I am here to present business item 2025-84, resolution 2025-8. And this is for the Minnesota PFA, our Public Facilities Authority loan agreement and general obligation wastewater revenue notes. So this is the second leg of our annual capital financing. If you remember, I was first here about a month ago presenting 3 bonding resolutions. And so this is kind of the second piece of what we do annually to finance our capital expenditures. And I guess I'll make one quick announcement since I'm here. We just yesterday got AAA ratings from both Moody's and Standard & Poor's.
Congratulations, that's huge.
So that's a shout out to the team who helped with that, and that's a big deal for our interest rates.
Yeah, and it's quite a process.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
So that bond sale will take place April 1st, and we'll close on the bonds in early May. So, but back to this is the Minnesota. The PFA loan program that we use every year is for environmental services. They use bonding and the PFA loan program to finance their capital expenditures. It's an advantageous program for us because it has a subsidized interest rate, making it less expensive than issuing bonds. So we take a portion of their capital expenditures and use this program. The 2024 loan that we used last year took out last year is gonna run out in May. And this proposed new loan will close in early May. And it will last through the end of the year, possibly into January, so. It's $32 million, 20-year loan, and we've submitted an application for the new loan. It's subject to approval. We're expecting an approval the next week or two. So subject to that approval, this resolution will authorize the regional administrator to sign a new loan agreement, and it'll authorize us to issue and place a general obligation wastewater revenue note with the Minnesota PFA, which is required to secure the new loan. The resolution also sets financial parameters that must be met for the loan to occur, similar to our bonding resolutions. The parameters say it cannot exceed 32 million, they must close within 90 days, and the interest rate cannot exceed 4.25%. Now we expect it to be quite a bit lower than that. Based on a preliminary estimate from PFA a week or two ago, it was at a 236. And that's significantly lower than our bond resolutions were. Well, 4.25 is what we're expecting on that. So it's a great program for us, and it'll save $3.5 to $4 million on interest costs on this amount in the future. And these loans are paid back by wastewater system revenues. We've never levied, we don't expect to levy for this debt. And it goes towards stewardship, as it's a low cost financing alternative to bonding, and it'll save us quite a bit of interest. So that's what I have to say. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Great, thank you, Mark. Are there any questions? Yeah, no, what a great program. Always appreciate this opportunity. Great that we don't have to levy this, and 2.36 is really amazing.
Yep.
Considering the environment we're in. So, so the proposed action is the Metropolitan Council adopt resolution 2025-8, which authorizes the regional administrator to execute a bond purchase and project loan agreement with the Minnesota Public Facilities Authority, PFA, in substantially the form as in the attached draft agreement, and authorizes the issuance and sale of the supporting general obligation wastewater revenue note, securing the loan in substantially the form as in the draft note referenced in the resolution. So we've got all of that as part of our report here today. So is there a motion to approve staff's recommendation?
So moved.
Moved by Osman, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Pacheco. Any further discussion? Again, just congrats on the AAA. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, no. And that passes unanimously, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being here today. Our next item is 2025-85, Risk Management Information System Contract 19P142 Amendment 2. We've got Gretchen White, our Chief Information Officer, and Derek Knorr, our Business Systems Analyst 3 from Risk Management. So thank you for being here today. I'll turn it over to you.
Madam Chair and committee members, I'm here today representing Risk Management Information System Business Item 2025-85. It's contract 19P142, and this would be Amendment 2. The purpose of this amendment would be to extend the contract for 5 years and add $1,890,547 for software maintenance. This contract is a part of the information services budget. It's a complex system that replacement would be a multi-year project for us to do. And so I have brought Business System Analyst Derek Knorr, first time at council here, to talk to you about the importance of the system and his role as he is the technical management expert for the business and user administration. So Derek, go ahead.
Madam Chair, council members, I'm Derek Knorr, Business Systems Analyst for Risk Management, as y'all have already said. I'm the knowledge worker that most directly works with this system. We use it to manage all objects that have to do with risk management, particularly claims, primarily workers' compensation, and broadly liability claims. We have a team of adjusters that track and manage claims, make payments, collect information, All of that information goes into this origami risk management information system, as well as details about how the Metropolitan Council is structured, locations, employees. It's all gathered and connected from the various systems. That was part of this project as well, building those connections. And the data also is used in various parts of Metropolitan Council for making decisions with regard to safety, for example, or just monitoring the state of risk in its various forms throughout the organization.
So with that, our proposed action is that the Metropolitan Council authorize the regional administrator to execute an amendment to contract 19P 142 with Origami Risk LLC that will add $1,890,547 for software maintenance and support for a total contract amount not to exceed $3,776,131.
Great. Are there any questions?
I'm sure, yeah,
Councilmember
thanks,
Lilligren.
and thanks, Mayor, welcome to the committee, and this may be more of a question for the Assistant Regional Administrator, but I'm just wondering, so we self-insure, right? We're a self-insure organization, great, and this isn't that huge of a contract, and I can see that it does a lot, but I'm just wondering, as we look at as we, as an organization, evaluate the sort of benefits of self-insurance, where do these kind of ancillary or adjacent costs, how do we see these? This is the first time I've seen a contract like this, so I'm just wondering, how do we see this as sort of our total cost of doing business and of insuring?
Madam Chair, committee members, we do self-insure these claims. We do that, been doing that for 30 years probably.
Sure.
It is a part of the departments, the divisions. We do analyze that on a regular basis.
Sure.
To make sure that we're getting the best deal we can. Yeah, we'll continue to look at that as well.
So this is part of the regular analysis?
Yes.
Well, thanks, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that question. Any other questions? All right, we do have before us the proposed action by self. I'll reread it, that the Metropolitan Council authorize the regional administrator execute the amendment to contract 19P 142 with Origami Risk LLC that will add $1,890,547,000 for software maintenance and support for a total contract amount not to exceed $3,776,131. Is there a motion to approve?
Move approval.
Moved by Lilligren, is there a second? Second. Seconded by Barber. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, no. That passes unanimously. So thank you for being here. Thanks for your hard work. We appreciate this. I know that when you're bringing things to us, good things are happening in IS. So thank you. Tell everyone on the team we appreciate them.
Thank you.
All right, and seeing that we've come to the end of the agenda with nothing on information and without objection, meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
We're still seeing